Where does fulfillment come from? Does it come from your desires? Those lofty dreams and goals? That's what all the gurus and people trying to sell you something would say, right? Is that once you get your desires, then you'll feel fulfilled. But the reality is, that's not where you get your fulfillment. When you're focused on your desires, and desires in the sense of like to be a yacht owner or to live in a mega mansion, or I don't even know, to have 5 Bugattis. What color is your Bugatti? Right? Like, those things won't bring fulfillment. I think that's, to a degree, really obvious to especially a lot of young people now.
There's a hawk.
Because that's not what actually brings you fulfillment.
There's a hawk.
What brings you fulfillment? You see a hawk?
There's a lizard.
There's a lizard. Yeah.
There's a lizard tail.
Yeah. This is a point of fulfillment, right? What actually brings you fulfillment is your needs, having your needs met. And by needs, yes, obviously, like having clean drinking water, having nutritious food, having shelter, having all those things are needs, right? But then you also have like the needs of the psychological needs, they're called, right? Like the need of being accepted, being loved, having a community. The need, how about the need of not feeling like at any moment your livelihood could be taken away from you? Like, that's not just a desire, that's a need. That's like a stress that everybody experiences that we don't actually need to experience. And the only reason why this stress still exists today with all the resources and technologies that we have is because we live in a world where people take advantage of the fact that that everybody needs these things, and they take advantage that it's not freely given, that it's not guaranteed. And so there's a fear that they can play on and prey on. And they do, to make their wealth even more. And so the point that I'm making is, when you have all your needs met, and when everybody has all their needs met, then you can really feel fulfilled. And then you can like focus on your desires if you'd like, you know? But if you're just focused on your desires, what that prevents is your needs being met. Because there's an assumption that if you get your desires, obviously, then your needs are met. But that's not true, actually. That's not true, because the desires in the current system, the current monetary system, the way that it exists right now throughout the world, you getting your desires means that somebody does not get their needs met. And if somebody does not get their needs met, then as a whole, as a people, we do not have our needs met, which means that the fulfillment that you might have in a moment is not real, and it's not lasting. And so the real fulfillment, first of all, comes from something that I feel like in the media, it's been sold so many times, so many ways, to not have this, to not have a family, to not have a relationship, to not have just self-confidence, actually, to go out and, you know, where you can get your fulfillment at a club or at a festival or through these vacations that you can buy, experiences. Really, it's just the focus on experience. And this is going to sound like maybe counterintuitive, but experience, the focus on experience exists where there is no real purpose. When you don't have real purpose, then you focus on experience. And there really is only one real purpose. And that real purpose is to, hey, look, we're living in a world where some people don't
You
have their
should.
basic needs met.
You should
And
too.
there's nothing fundamentally different from you to them other than they just happen to be born into that situation. And we could change that.
Green.
We have the ability to change that.
Green.
But would you be willing to actually change that? Are you actually going to say, hey, you know what? That's not right, and I'm not going to stand for that? Or are you going to be predatory against that and say, you know, that's too bad for them because it allows me to live a good life. But then what happens when that comes for you? When that same predatory mentality starts preying on you? Because it will. It has to. That's the way that mentality works. It cannibalizes everything eventually. Right?
Wait.
And so there's only one way actually to get your needs met. And that is to live by the principle of what is best, which means, stick with me here. It means you have to be able to consider more things than just yourself, which means you have to have some level of education to be able to do that, to be able to put the pieces together in the right order. And when you're able to do that, when you put the pieces together in the right order, you have more influence, you have more power, and you're able to organize the mess that you see in front of you. And when everybody does that, guess what? You get your needs met a lot faster, by the way, than having to wait for everybody to get their needs met. But you get your needs met, you support others to get their needs met, and you start to see, oh, wow, we can actually change the world. And if you're looking to change your world, let's do it. You got to join the group. I mean, I could go into detail here, but I'm not going to do that. It's really simple. But we're looking for people who actually want to take this seriously, right? Who actually care and don't just want a handout. They actually want to be a part of, like, no, okay, I see what you're saying. I want that for myself. And, you know, I'm willing to do things for it. I'm willing to actually make a move. Because once you start, guess what? I know, because of what we have within this group, that once you start using these tools, once you start doing this process, you will change. They will change you. The process will change you. And I can say for myself and a lot of other people within our community, my life is much better. And I'm so grateful for it. And I am way more fulfilled than if I would have gotten those things that I thought were my desires back then. But I got my needs. You need to get your needs. All right, y'all, that's it for this week.